Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Inspiring People Doing Amazing Things in Life. I'm Tiffany T and I'm with Dino Gomez. And we are so grateful and happy to have Davette Wheat with us. And we're just going to give her a chance to talk a little bit about what she does and who she is and what she's up to because it's big. So she's a certified hypnotherapist, NLP and EFT practitioner, and a numerologist. So, Davette, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself as well and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, hi, everyone. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of this evening with you, and especially to talk about the things that I'm most obsessed with about life. And that's really our mind and how it works and the law of attraction and, that whole realm of we don't know what we don't know. And that has me completely obsessed with researching and just discovering things about our subconscious mind. I've been, I think, passionate about this field or this kind of endeavor since I was a little girl. I've always just been very curious and wanting to know how things work and people work and our emotions and why. And so it's caused me to really take it on full force in my life. I'm now currently a certified clinical hypnotherapist. And what that means is that I work with the subconscious mind through meditation. Meditation is just a form of hypnosis. Just, get in a really relaxed place and use metaphors and, kind of visualize and imagine and create those exciting feelings about life that you want to have. And it's been proven to get amazing results. I'm an NLP practitioner. NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And that's just a study of our mind and changing its patterns and habits that we have. It's a really effective, some really effective techniques. EFT, which I think is just the coolest thing. It's emotional freedom technique. It's similar to acupuncture without the needles. So it's believed that when certain events occur in our life since childhood, those events, whether, good or bad, we'll talk about, the negative events, cause emotion that make us not feel good. And we carry those emotions really through life. And if they go unresolved, which I think a lot of us are so good at stuffing those emotions down and not wanting to deal with them, well, they stay there. And then they manifest into other things physically in our body. It could be back pain or neck pain. Some people, it might show up in cancer or stomach issues or even loss of hearing and sight. So there's some amazing techniques that have been developed through the emotional freedom techniques. And all you basically do is you go through like a tapping throughout certain meridian points, talking about these certain events. And it is amazing how free and what healing actually comes from it too. It's really exciting. I do numerology. I'm a numerologist and I am beyond fascinated about it. I have to say, quite a few years ago, and probably 10 so years ago, Tiffany, when you and I had met and started, when I met Tiffany, we were like best friends. They talk about love at first sight. We were like best friends at first sight. She was just so amazing and so cool. And, we were both extremely spiritual and taught each other a lot and learned a lot from each other. And one of those things that Tiffany introduced me to was numerology. And I was so fascinated about it because just the study of numbers, really everything is a mathematical equation, including us. Everything is energy. And I started just really looking into it, and I saw how the Bible uses numerology throughout, how everything in science is just really calculated and everything is energy. And I look at numerology as something that helps give me core information about someone. So when I'm able to coach them through various things, I know, some trigger words that are very effective with them. And I've just loved it. So that's what I do. I have a practice here in Newport Beach, and I meet with clients on one-on-one, or I meet with groups of people. I also have audio that I record in an app that you can download, and you can just lay in bed and listen to some hypnosis sessions and quit smoking or lose weight or calm stress and anxiety or various things. But I'm just really passionate about this kind of work, and I love it. I could talk about it all day and all night.
And you're the perfect type of person to pursue this kind of work as well.
Well, I was gonna say to Davette, you wow, first off, you must be busy. There's a lot you have going on there. But one of the first things you said I thought was really cool, really interesting. Have to ask you about real quick is you said like the more you know, the less you know. And yeah. I can only imagine, especially in the fields that you're in, that probably just seems perpetually infinite almost to a degree. Or what would you say?
I would say it is. I think that's why I love this field so much, because it's never ending. I can never get to the end of knowing, the answers or, the end result. It's an endless journey. There are just certain things in this journey that I've started to discover. Example, those experiments on water, right? I mean, our intention literally affects the molecular structure of ice crystals on water, how it's formed. And, since science can actually prove that, and we are, 75% water, how does that affect us? What does that mean to us? I recently have been introduced to the heart code, which talks about how actually our heart has more memory than our brain. Like, what? Mind blown, right? There's operations that have been done where, there's been a heart transplant, and the person with the new heart actually takes on personality traits of the donor. There was a case where there was a heart transplant, and it was a murder situation, and the person that received the heart started having memories of the actual event and was able to describe certain things that they didn't know, and they caught the person that did it and prosecuted him because they found out and discovered what this person was saying. Like, it's just amazing. So that's just like the tip of the iceberg of what there is. And so I just have to try to remember to keep my feet on ground, because I can get so lost and fascinated in this that and just the learning and the growing, and I got to remember, I got kids to feed. Oh yeah. Got to make dinner tonight. I can't dive too much into this, but I love it.
That's so cool. That's so wild. That's I haven't heard that book mentioned in a while, The Heart Code. Yeah. I heard that one mentioned like 3 or 4 years ago. I forgot about that book and what it was about. I didn't have a chance to read it, but I had somebody who read it basically tell me all about it. That's just unbelievable. That is so cool.
Yeah. So there's, the things that we know, right? Like I know how to, drive my car to the grocery store. And then there are those things that we know that we don't know, right? I know that I do not know how to fly a plane. And then there's that whole other realm of we don't know what we don't know. I had no idea something like this was even possible. And so that it's like, wow, what else is out there? What else is possible? What else, do we not know? And how does that affect us as human beings, as parents, as wives, as husbands, as, just citizens? I mean, how does that affect us so that we can be better and more and bigger and actually have quality in our life, in all areas of our life?
Right.
So, mind boggle.
Yeah, right. I'm like, my mind is, as I read various books and put things together, and my home right now is like a library, and I'm just so fascinated about, I kind of feel like the mad scientist sometimes, because I'm pulling this book out and this one and just trying to, get as much information and then put it all together and, sit back and just, try to make sense of it. But, especially use it in my therapy when I'm working with people. I really want to understand where you're coming from and help, because it's also helping me. And, I feel like I'm making the world a better place if I'm helping people deal with that negative, low vibration, that they're carrying. So,
yeah.
Right. You can definitely tell, we can feel your passion for what you do, which is very apparent, which is awesome to see. So, all right, Davette, what we're going to do right here, we're going to kind of transition into a couple questions we have for you. We'll start with the very first one, which is we'd like to ask you, like, what would be your definition of happiness? How would you describe happiness in your life, or just in general?
How would I describe happiness? Okay, I guess there's probably a million ways to go with this question, and right offhand, I think I'd say that happiness is so interesting. It's almost kind of like a mystery emotion, because we chase it all through life, but we have it if we just reach out and take it. So it's this, like, it's available to anybody and everybody. You know, you've seen people that have experienced a tragic event, and they're happy that they survived, and they're happy and they're grateful that they have an opportunity to rebuild. And then you have people who have all the money in the bank, they live in the most amazing place, and they're so unhappy. And so happiness, it's so interesting, because we chase it. We want to be happy, and everything that we do, we just want to be happy, without realizing that it's already in you. You can just choose to be happy, and it's a state of mind. It's your thoughts affect your happiness. So I think happiness is an attitude, and it's a way of looking at something, and I constantly have to remind myself of that, because even as much as I know, I forget. And I think, Tiffany, we've talked about this before too, that we can tend to become addicted to pain bodies. And so there's some kind of sick addiction within us that we almost like being a victim about things. And, we say we want to be happy, but then sometimes we kind of like that, like, victim, place too, even though it doesn't feel good. For some reason, we feed off of it in a sense. And so, if you're really chasing happiness, you can literally just shift into that emotion. And I think that happiness is a creative emotion. So if you're feeling happy, you're vibrating happiness, you're going to attract like things to keep you feeling that way. So it's hard to balance. It's such a weird energy of emotion, because you already have it, but we're chasing it. So,
Yeah, definitely an answer we've never heard before. So that's awesome. I love your feedback. The next question is, what's your perception of success?
My perception of success, I think, is just setting goals and reaching them. It could be the smallest goal of just being a good mom, or, saying that you're going to work out first thing in the morning and actually getting it done, or I'm going to start a business and make it successful. I think success, it's available for everybody. And I think people have a false perception of success, because they think that to be successful, it has to be, you have to own a town, or you have to be, the leading role in a movie, or, you have to have $1 million in the bank. And I think success is simple. Success is, set some goals and just reach them, as big or small. And for some people, a lot of times for me, it's just getting up in the morning and going for a workout, because I love to sleep. And, I'll sometimes tell myself, okay, I'm going to work out in the morning, and in the morning, I don't really feel like it. And then I push myself, and I'm so proud of myself when I do that. I think that right there is like a level, of success. And I think people need to not be so hard on themselves about their definition of success, because it could be just getting a list of things done, in your day, and feeling good about yourself. So I think it's setting a goal that's a little stretch for you, and actually accomplishing it.
Keeping it
as big or small. Yeah.
I like it. It's fluid. I like how you described success as fluid. It's not, because everybody's starting somewhere different, has different things going on. And so you're saying it's not finite. It's interesting. It seems like a lot of people, whether they realize it consciously or subconsciously, society kind of shapes success to a certain standard of what celebrities are at, or what successful business people are at. And everybody thinks that is, the line where you're either unsuccessful if you don't get there, or you made it if you do. And so that's cool the way you brought that together. Mm-hmm. It's fluid. There's different factors for everyone. So
yeah, there is. And I think the more the less hard you are on yourself and you allow yourself to celebrate little things, before you know it, you're really going to start celebrating even bigger and bigger and bigger things. But I think society likes to feed into the victim mentality. So, you know, society wants to paint, they want to define what success is to you almost in a way so that you're constantly feeling not good enough, or, you know, I mean, I didn't do enough, or I don't have this, or I don't have that, I don't have that car, or this house. And it's just ridiculous. Set some small goals that, you know, you really want to do, and feel good, feel the feeling of success. And you're just going to start, you know, it's going to start getting, you're going to start having bigger successes. So.
Awesome.
Yeah. That society definitely builds the marketing into making you feel that way in order to sell you something that you're not going to be happy, or you're not doing enough unless you have. It's interesting how they do that. So it's a great point. So all right, we'll go to the next question here, Davette, which is we're going to get pretty deep here. So what we're going to ask you here is, what is the most profound thing or experience that you've had in life? Maybe it's a profound moment that's perhaps completely influenced the way you think moving forward. But we'd love to know what the most profound moment is for you thus far.
That would really probably be through challenges that I've had, and having to consciously make the choice to look at them in a positive way. It's really been through my challenges that I've grown exponentially. When times are really hard and I'm faced with myself and I'm having to look in the mirror and I'm wanting to tell myself, and naturally, I'm not good enough, I'm not, you know, enough in this way or that way, or this hasn't worked or that hasn't worked, and having to exercise telling myself to shut up, stop saying that, I'm okay, everything's okay, everything always works out, and switching it into this gratitude of actually finding that I can be gratitude for my situations. I'm a Bible reader, and I've always, one thing that I think a lot of people find hard to do is in 1 James it says, consider it pure joy when you find yourself in trials of many kinds. And it seems so off and odd, because how can you feel good about your car being repoed and you not having money? How could that possibly feel good? But if you understand that something greater is going to come of it, then you can feel good, right? If you can look past through the future and you're like, oh my gosh, because this happened, that means that this bigger opportunity is going to happen, then you'll feel good. You'd be like, give me those problems all day long, and you feel good about it. I've had, various experiences through my life that have been really high highs and really low lows. And it might sound weird, I know, but it's in those, not that I'm not asking the universe for more of those lows, but it really in those lows, I've discovered what I'm made of. Wayne Dyer says that it's not circumstances that make the man, but that reveal him. And so there are times, and I'm so glad that even just reading books and talking to people like Tiffany and, like-minded people, you hear these quotes and then they come back to your mind at the perfect time, right? Where I've been in situations that I'm like, wow, okay, what is this going to reveal about me? Do I give up? Do I quit? Do I fight? Do I have gratitude in a hard situation? And then I decide, well, what do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Do I want to be a victim? Do I want to be someone that, life didn't happen for me because of all these other situations? Or do I want to be a faithful person and someone who stands strong? Because I know that in going through this, then I can help other people. And, it's been hard to practice that when you can't see the good that's going to come out of it, right? We have our radar screen, and I can only see the things in my radar screen, and there's no possible way of this turning good in any way. But saying, you know what? No, I'm not going to think like that. I'm not going to feel like that. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to choose to just breathe and start getting excited for what's gonna be the end result. And yeah, it's been in my challenges, I think, that have been really profound for me. And it's not like I was just born thinking that way. You know, I've studied and I've read these books and I've listened to these quotes, and I've just chosen to, okay, practice it. If people are saying that your circumstances don't make you, they reveal you, what does that mean? Okay, I'm in this situation right now. So, I want to be a strong woman. I want to at least look at myself in the mirror and say, you did it. You did it. Like, I'm proud of you. And when everything's perfect and going smoothly and going wonderful and going great, it's easy to just kind of go with the flow and not really be challenged. And yeah, I think we need to, be grateful for our situations, because they make you human, they make you humble, and you can't learn really without them. You can't go to the gym and not go home and feel sore if you're not really pushing yourself. So, I mean, me and Tiffany used to work out a lot together, and there'd be times I'd come home and I loved that pain, because I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know I had muscles there. Wow, I worked it out. And, I think life relates to that a lot. So
That's a great analogy.
Yeah, it's funny how that seems to be how life is structured, that when there's a challenge or when something's difficult, naturally that's when you're going to grow. And that's like the example you used. Anything related to fitness, you're only actually going to get better if it's the hard part. So that's interesting. So yeah, so like you said right there, most profound thing, going through something tough and getting through it, realizing that you're going to make it through, come out stronger.
Yeah, and looking back, saying, I did it. Wow, what? I did it. I didn't think I was gonna survive. I did it. So it's like, you need to go through those challenges, and it's literally just training your mind. When you want to say, oh my God, I got all the red lights, or life sucks, or I knew this was gonna happen, just stopping yourself and saying, you know what? It's okay. I feel good. Wow, I'm sitting in a nice car. I could be walking, and I'm sitting in a car, and I'm grateful for that. So, and I know you guys, you Tiffany, I've always admired your focus on gratitude, and how you've always just in any situation turned things around. And has always been really inspiring to me. And so that's really contributed to my shift in attitudes when I'm in the middle of something that, I remember, okay, what am I grateful for? And it makes a world of difference.
Yeah,
it really does.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, that's awesome, Davette. You've shed some incredible light here today with your background and everything of insight. We loved how when hearing you talk about definition of success, how it's fluid, depends where you're starting, set many goals in order for you to get there. And then loved hearing about what your insight is as far as the most profound thing, going through the challenges, making it back out on the other side. And so yeah, it's just been awesome to sit here and actually get a chance to meet you. I've heard so much about you from Tiffany, and you have such an incredible background there. And it was awesome to hear you talk about that book you read, and it was called the Heart
Code.
The Heart Code.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was awesome to hear you mention that, because I had not heard that title in a while. And so yeah, there's so much, like you said at the very beginning. There's the more you know, the less you actually know.
Yeah.
And so it's been a pleasure to sit down and chat with you here, Davette. Tiffany, do you have anything further for Davette today?
So if people want to get to know you a little bit better, or like read about what you're doing, what you're up to, where would they go? Like how?
Well, you can go to my website. And I believe it's on the screen, but it's davette.net. And there's a lot of information just really on, what I believe and my way of thinking and the services that I offer. Also on my website, you can download my app. So I have an app for your phone that is really cool, because I have some hypnosis sessions on there. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be adding a ton more to it. But there's so if you know anybody that has anxiety, they can listen to for free an anxiety session. I've gotten really great results on it. People just telling me that, it really helped them in the moment as they're feeling anxious about an event that's coming, right? They're focused on the stress and anxiety of it possibly going wrong. And so in the session, I help them to just kind of get grounded in the right here, right now, and just really just feeling and knowing that everything always works out, even if it's for your growth or it's just not going to turn out, you know, the way you expected, and it turns out great. But I help them to focus on that. You can go to the App Store and search under Davette, under just my name, and it'll come up, Hypnotherapy by Davette. The other really cool thing on my app is that if you're into affirmations, you can record your own affirmations on my app and play it back to yourself. So if there are things that you're struggling with or things that you just really want to help yourself focus on, you can do a full recording on your phone, you know, lay in bed, or, you know, you sit on your couch, whatever you need to do, and just replay it. And it's even more effective for you subconsciously because it's in your own voice. So you can also do that. And I have some audios that you can download on my website, but you can actually download the app from my website as well. So.
Awesome. So that's Davette, DAVETTE.net.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay.
I like it. Davette.net. It has a ring to it.
I so looked out with the .net because the .com was taken. I'm like, that's not me. But try .net. I'm like, oh, okay, that's even better.
It all works out.
It all works out.
So that probably works out even better.
Yeah,
so.
that's what I thought. I'm like, all right, because I was a little bummed when Davette.com was taken, you see, and then I'm like, no, let me look, and I'm like, this is even better. Who would have thought?
Well, awesome. So yeah, for everybody listening in, go check out Davette.net. She's got a lot of cool stuff going on at her site, as well as her app, where you can listen to some of her hypnosis, as well as, that sounds like, record some of your own affirmations. So that's killer. Davette, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today, getting a chance to sit down and meet with you and getting your perception on a couple different questions and topics that most people don't normally chat about, and is a lot of fun for us to all sit down and kind of chat about. So we appreciate your time and sharing the light. And to everybody out there listening in, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Inspiring People Doing Amazing Things. And until next time, for Tiffany T and myself, we will appreciate you guys being here, and we'll catch you on the next episode.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thanks.